Hey world, it's Ben want to come back with another video. Family, I want to come back with this video because I just wanted to, help the family understand the true discrepancy when it comes to, you know, justice and then just us. See, how many out there right now would love the opportunity to make $174,000 and only work maybe 3 or 4 months out of the year? Fully vested after 6 years. All you have to do is work on this job for 6 years. $174,000 your salary. A lot of your duties include just meetings and traveling all over the place, over the nation, sometimes over the world, meeting different people. Come back, sit in chambers, sit in meetings, have all your lunches and dinners comped, have all your living arrangements comped. You actually get to have security, Secret Service. You have the best health care. And then, like I say, after 6 years, you get to retire. And I don't mean retire, but all you have to do is do this job 6 years to be vested. All right? And at $174,000, and then after just 6 years of service, then, of course, once you retire, right, you get $174,000. You're not, and if you don't go off the whole time, you get 80%, so it's what, $139,000 in your retirement. But if you look at the average U.S. citizen who has to work 20 years, at least 20 years, to be eligible for a $1,400 a month Social Security check, at the highest maybe $3,000 a month Social Security check, and that's if you're a high wage earner making $134,000 a year. Okay, I think that's the cutoff stage. So wouldn't you love that type of job where you can make $174,000 and not have to do a lot, but decide the quality of life of millions of people, even though you don't have to live that same quality of life or lack thereof? These are your politicians, family. These are your congressmen. These are your senators. Okay? You got to realize 20 years ago in 1990, actually 30 years ago, senators and congressmen were making like $98,000 a year. Now they're making $174,000 a year. And what behooves me and what trips me out is the fact that half of all these congressmen are millionaires. How is that? Oh, that's right. When you're able to make the laws, then you're able to give corporations certain benefits and provisions that in turn will allow you to financially benefit from it, i.e. through stocks, i.e. through inside trading, i.e. through board appointments on different corporations where you get, extra additional income and extra additional cash. And all you basically doing is being elected by the same people that you're supposed to be looking out for, but you never do. I mean, look at the post office, for example. They finna let the U.S. Post Office, one of the oldest organizations in the United States, dating all the way back to the 1700s, they finna allow that to be privatized and shut down federally because of the corporation status. See, once you privatize the post office, now you don't have to pay those postal workers, because remember, postal workers are no longer considered federal employees, they're considered post employees. All the post office money comes from sales. And so if you look at FedEx and UPS and Amazon, all these different organizations like that, it's totally dipped into U.S. Post Office revenue. And instead of the government, quote unquote, bailing the post office out like they bailed out every other corporation or every other industry, they're going to allow a U.S. federal agency to be privatized, just like they privatize prisons. Because once something is privatized by corporations, now there are less restrictions. Now they don't have to pay the employees the same rate. Now they don't have to provide a pension for them. Now they can just give them a 401k and steal their money. But these are the lawmakers, okay, that allow these type of things to happen, that don't have to live off the same Social Security we have to live off of. And they tell us what we can and can't do, i.e. how you shut down a whole nation. Grown-ass men and women having to stay in the house and are totally healthy. You guys are telling us how we supposed to take care of ourselves? And it's so crazy. They're not telling us something prevalent or relevant. Wash your hands 20 seconds. Stay away from people that are sick. If you're sick, stay in the home. Huh? My 9-year-old know that. But that tells you the lack of intelligence and the lack of respect that congressmen and politicians have for you. The post office, this isn't something that just come up. President Trump formed a task force back in 2018 with 3 of his own appointees to come up with a way to privatize the post office. 2 years later, during the biggest stimulus package in the history of America, the U.S. Post Office get left out. Because see, what you didn't know is that this was already in the making. They had already planned to privatize the post office. The same people that's making $174,000 a year. The same people that only have to work 6 years before they vest it. But us, just us, have to work 20, 25, 30 years to try to get a Social Security check? And they don't have to have that Social Security check, family. And guess who pays for their retirement? We do. So when these crooked politicians go to jail and go to prison for doing crooked stuff, and they've been in office more than 6 years, they still get our money in retirement for the rest of their lives. Family, let's wake up. It's 2020. In the meantime, between time, family, may the Most High Inside you bring you joy. And remember, there's no justice. It's just us. And being one is out of 5,000.